And as tensions continue to soar between Russia and Ukraine, India's permanent representative to the UN TS Tirumurti has now said that escalation of tension along the border is a matter of deep concern. During his statement at the UNSC Emergency Meet earlier today, TS Tirumurti said that diplomacy is the only solution to resolve this conflict and all sides should exercise restraint to avoid any military escalation. Listen in.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let me begin by thanking Under-Secretary General Rosemary DiCarlo for her briefing. We have been closely following the evolving developments relating to Ukraine, including developments along the eastern border of Ukraine and the related announcement by the Russian Federation. The escalation of tension along the border of Ukraine with the Russian Federation is a matter of deep concern. These developments have the potential to undermine peace and security of the region. We call for restraint on all sides. The immediate priority is de-escalation of tensions, taking into account the legitimate security interests of all countries and aimed towards securing long-term peace and stability in the region and beyond. We are convinced that this issue can only be resolved through diplomatic dialogue. We need to give space to the recent initiatives undertaken by parties which seek to diffuse tensions. In this context, we welcome the intense efforts underway, including through the Trilateral Contact Group and under the Normandy format. We need parties to exert greater efforts to bridge divergent interests. We cannot afford to have a military escalation. As we have emphasized before, the Minsk agreements provide a basis for a negotiated and peaceful settlement, and we need greater efforts to find common ground to facilitate the implementation of the provisions of the Minsk agreements, including key security and political aspects. As we have time and again emphasized, constructive diplomacy is the need of the hour to avoid scaling up of tensions. The safety and security of civilians are essential. More than 20,000 Indian students and nationals live and study in different parts of Ukraine, including in its border areas. The well-being of Indian nationals is a priority to us. In conclusion, we strongly emphasize the vital need for all sides to maintain international peace and security by exercising the utmost restraint and intensifying diplomatic efforts to ensure that a mutually amicable solution is arrived at the earliest. I thank you.
And for more clarity on this, let's just listen into this expert analysis of the ongoing Russia-Ukraine crisis. Listen in.
What we heard today from President Putin was basically a recitation of grievances that he and other Russians have had for a long time. And he did it in an extended format before finally cutting to the chase of what he was announcing at the very end, which is that Russia will recognize the independence of these two separatist regions in eastern Ukraine, Donetsk and Luhansk, which are collectively known as Donbass. And this is something that was expected. It is on the lower spectrum of what the US and the West, NATO, and the European Union expected, but because what they thought was that whatever this announcement would be, could be up to and including a full-on invasion of Ukraine. Now, that's not to say that that's not possible and might not still be in the offing, but this is a first step, and it's a kind of a limited first step.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.